In this chapter, we'll be looking at worksheets for a service business. Why would consistent reporting be important to a business? Without consistent reporting, it would be very difficult to compare results from year to year, and businesses need to be able to compare the same type of thing from year to year. We must test to see if our debits and credits equal after all the posting is complete. If the debits equal credits for each transaction, the total debits at the end of the period should equal the total credits. This leads to a listing of each account and its balance, which is called a trial balance. Terms that we'll be working with in this chapter are fiscal period, worksheet, and trial balance. What is a fiscal period? It's an accounting concept, or it's part of accounting concept. The accounting period cycle is applied when changes in financial information are reported for a specific period of time in the form of financial statements. What that means is that we're just going to be doing accounting for a specific period. That might be a month, it might be a year. In our case, for the Techno Consulting, we'll be doing it for the period ending August 31st. So that would be a 1-month period. Each business selects a fiscal period that meets its needs. Most use a 1-year cycle that ends during a period of low business activity. That gives them time to prepare the necessary tax records. Financial information is always summarized and reported at the end of a fiscal period. A worksheet, there are 4 reasons why accountants use worksheets. First, to summarize general ledger account balances to prove that debits do equal credits. They can use them to plan needed changes to general ledger accounts to bring account balances up to date. So if you do find errors, you can bring up your balances up to date. To separate general ledger account balances according to the financial statements to be prepared. And we've looked at the chart of accounts in terms of the balance sheet and the income statement. And to calculate the amount of net income or net loss for a fiscal period. Journals and ledgers are permanent records of a business and are usually prepared in ink or printed by a computer. A worksheet is a planning tool. It is not considered a permanent accounting record, and therefore we'll be preparing that in pencil. First, we start with preparing the heading of our worksheet. All financial statement headings answer 3 questions: why, what, when, and they consist of 3 lines. So to prepare the heading of our worksheet, here's an example of a worksheet here. We're going to take a closer look at the heading. And why? It's Techno Consulting. What is it? The worksheet. And for what period? For the month ended August 31st, the current year. So we would start by filling out our heading in our worksheet. The next thing we're going to do is we need to take a look at our total debits. They must equal the total credits. Our trial balance is a proof of the equality of debits and credits. Information is taken from the general ledger. All our accounts are listed on the trial balance, even the accounts that have 0 balances in them. We list them in the chart of accounts order. However, you do not have to put the category headings. The account titles are written in full, and accuracy is very important when transferring the balance information, because that we might not be able to prove our debits and credits if we enter in wrong information. There is an overlay in your book which comes right after page 160. So you want to refer to that. And we're going to start, after we put in the heading, we write the general ledger account titles in the account title column. They're all listed in the chart of accounts order. So here you have them all here. And remember, we include all of our accounts. The next thing we're going to do is to write our debit account balances in the trial balance debit column. So all the accounts that have debits, which would be our assets, our drawing account, and any of our expenses, we write in the amounts. Those accounts that have no balances, we just leave blank. Then we're going to write in the credit account balances in the trial balance credit column. So here's our accounts payable, our liabilities, our capital account, and our sales account. The next thing we do is to rule a single line. It's tough to see, but here it is. across the two columns below the amounts, and that's where we're going to total things up. Then we total the two columns. Our total should be equal. If not, I need to recheck my addition and my balances. I go back into the general ledger, make sure I brought everything forward correctly. If I still can't get those columns to equal, we need to stop, and there is an error somewhere. We need to find that. We will be exploring in a later chapter some tricks or some possible ways to find some of those errors. But right now, everything should be equal. And once I've entered the two amounts, proving that my debits do equal credits, I'm going to rule a double line underneath those two figures. And that double line does mean that the totals have been verified. And now we'll try that. So the next thing we're going to do is the work together, and you can check out that video.